Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue. Now here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this May the 21st. Golly, it's passing fast, and yes, I am back in the studio for the second week in a row. My voice will hold out, but I'm not really going to need a lot of voice today because I'm surrounded by celebrities in here this morning. Not just Shelby McCall, our show producer, but I have people, and I know they know how to talk. They were born talkative, and of course, this is third Saturday, and that means Frank Barton is in the studio. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone out there.
And it will be worth you to stick around this morning just to hear Frank introduce a couple of segments. You know, Frank has that radio voice. I'm not going any further than that, but he does have a better voice than I do as I deal with chemo treatments and everything. I did not wear my hat with hair on it today, okay? I don't have it with me, but Frank will be here, and then we have three. That's right, three special guests. It looks so great, Shelby, to be in the studio and have people in the studio. Not that I don't appreciate Shelby, you know, but to have three guests, Frank, you know. And we're going before you leave, you're going to have.
I can't remember the last time we had three.
Well, before you leave, I'm going to ask you what their names were. You got to remember that. That's going to be the first thing before you get out the door is to remember what the names of these three guys are. Okay?
Give me that piece of paper.
No, I'm not. We have three guests that have traveled from Tune. Okay, there's one from Tune and two from Bolivar. Is that right?
I'm from Bolivar. JR's from Adamsville.
Adamsville.
From Adamsville.
Okay.
The one red light town.
Well, no, and I do Skeeter Wallace.
Scatter?
Scatter Wallace, I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, Scatter was...
I was good friends with Scatter.
Scatter was one of those good men for me that took me under his wing out of Adamsville. But we have Anthony Landreth over there. Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning, Larry. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you from Bolivar. And also, he's already said he's from Adamsville, so, you know, we'll let him go. Sheriff Pusser's not over there, is he? Okay, no. All right, no.
He's in spirit.
He's in spirit. Yep. And we have J.R. Sweat over there. Good morning, J.R.
Good morning, Mr. Larry. How are you?
And then the man that I've actually hunted with, and he has invited me back, but I guess he's waiting on if you ever want a bloopers video, you bring Anthony and me along, okay? This is Hoot Hazelgrove with us, Ricky Hoot Hazelgrove. Good morning, Hoot.
How you doing?
We're going to find out a lot about turkey. Get ready, Frank. We're going to find a lot about catfishing. Get ready, Frank. And we're going to find a lot about how to run a real good podcast with Anthony, the gang, because they do one that's top-notch. They've only got about 800 sponsors, too. You know, I mean, you know, they reel them off like bologna sandwiches over there, you know. But out of Bolivar, and I was really privileged to be on the podcast that one time. They got a great facility. You are now in the home of the Memphis Grizzlies here, so don't let it intimidate you. This is our home away from home where they do the Grizzlies. What do we do? We do this before and after show in here, right, Shelby? Yeah. This is the Grizzly Den, so to speak. But we're going to spend 45 minutes with these guys. Now, I have not even Bill Dance got 45 minutes. You know, so these guys, if you see us snoring, you know that they're ready to go home and get back to Tune, Bolivar, and Adamsville.
Folks, it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. So you can just kind of roll back as we talk this morning. I want to say thank you to all you folks out there with the texts, the emails, the cards, the phone calls. And I know every Saturday morning since I got back, I'm saying hello to Sarah Beth Banks in Brownsville, Tennessee. Sarah Beth, I will see you Wednesday at Baptist Cancer Center, the ambulatory, as I take my next spinal tap, and I know you're listening this morning, Sarah Beth. You told me you listened this morning. So I'm saying hello to all the nurses, the doctors, the first responders. And, man, I had a great thing yesterday, Frank, that I was able to attend. Got an honor that when the man called me and told me, and you're going to find out some things about Hoot in just a few minutes, about his journey, but my journey is a lot shorter than his. But I got permission on Thursday morning that I could go to Nashville yesterday and be a part of the 57th Annual Conservation Achievement Awards at the Loveless Cafe Barn right out of Nashville. And I was able to travel over there. I had a table of 10, and I want to thank all those people that are at my table. Gary Mason came up from the Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame, which I'm looking forward to August, going to Springfield and really be humbled by that award up there. Gary was there, Rob Simbeck, Tony Dolly, Don King, my wife, Dave and Rand Gabbard, Gene Smith, Guy Trebo. I had a whole table up there, and I was honored to get what I was really surprised to get was the Conservation of the Year award, and that really, Communicator of the Year award, and that really was a humbling thing. We're going to talk about that later in the show with Mike Butler, the Executive Director of the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Also going to talk to Mark Rose on today's show. All you folks know Mark. You know Mark Rose. You were there when he was just me and you were there, weren't we?
I was there before he was.
Yeah, me and you were there when he had the aluminum boat and won $20,000. And I said, Mark, you're all right. You know,
Little old John boat out there.
Little old John
River.
boat on the Mississippi River. We're going to talk to Mark. We're not going to necessarily talk about fishing a little bit. We're going to talk about fishing church. Every Sunday of the Major League Fishing circuit, Mark, Alton Jones Jr., they have church before they blast off. So we're going to talk to Mark. And then who better to close out today's show with than the Cornbread himself, Johnny Cornbread Warren. And, boy, they got a big thing going on up at Reelfoot this morning. It is the Brim Bluegill Bash. It started at 5 a.m. this morning. And now, Johnny spelled Brim a little different than me, you know. I always thought it was B-R-E-A-M, but he thought it was the potato chip. And he spelled it B-R-I-M. You know, I know what those things are. I've got to talk to Cornbread about that. You got to get the Brim right, you know. And I've never really known, you know, whether it's Brim, Bluegill. I mean, there's other names to that, you know.
It's kind of like crappie, crappie.
Oh, well, you said the word on who said that? Anthony said that over there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it is.
They call it everything.
A succulay on crappie, you know. We get those other
that's right.
those
too.
names up there. We're going to talk to Cornbread later in the show, but this is going to be a fun show. If I run out of gas, which is very possible, I can turn it over to these guys, and they can just go ahead and complete the show because they know how to talk. They know how to interview people. But first, you know, we got just a few minutes. I'll talk about the podcast for just a few minutes before we get really back into it.
Well, what it is, it's a Tennessee Outside. That's the name of our show.
Yes.
It's a Facebook Live.
Yes.
Comes on every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. And as everybody knows, Facebook is a big social media engine, you know.
You got that right.
And so we probably share our show. It's an hour-long show.
Okay.
We share it to probably, JR, 30, 40 groups minimum?
At least.
At least.
Yeah, at least that many.
Yeah.
I think we have a potential of somewhere around a little over 100 and something thousand viewers, do we not?
Well, it's a potential of 1.4 million.
1.4 million.
Yeah, 1.4 million.
I'd like to have that 0.4. Yeah, but can you give me the 0.4 and y'all
Well, like
keep
I
the
said,
other one, you
I'd
know?
say that's potential, Larry. You
Yeah,
know, that's
that's
the groups we share to. I know Bow Hunters of America is our biggest group. They're about 218,000 members.
Yes, yeah.
And they're the biggest group we share to.
So how long have y'all been doing that podcast?
Well, it started out, Hugh McNaughton,
Yes,
which he did the Southern Woods and Water
Right.
television show in Nashville for many years.
Yeah.
I was just as a guest up there one night.
Uh-huh.
And the next morning, Hugh called me. I was still in Nashville. And he said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you about something." I said, "Okay." And so we met the next Thursday in Jackson, Tennessee. And he said he was going to start a show up on the ESPN network, an outdoor show, to come on every Monday night.
Right.
And I'd never done anything like that, you know. And, I mean, I'm not even into speaking in front of people or any of that stuff. But I asked him, I said, "Hugh, why did you ask me to do that? You'd only been around me for an hour, you know, last night or that one night." And he said, "Well, it's just because I know I could tell your love for the outdoors,
That's right.
but
Yeah.
your knowledge goes way above
That's
that."
right. Yeah.
And so it started that, and then I guess in September that year, Hugh started. he had a heart attack and died.
He
And
passed away. Yeah.
The thing is, JR had been on the show with us, and so had Hoot. So I went ahead and did it by myself, just with help, and the Hardeman County game warden, Bubba Spencer. And we finished it out for the rest of the year. And then, I don't know, about 6 or 8 months went by, and JR and I had been talking, and Bubba had been trying to get me to do a podcast for 5 years with him. And but it was so many people coming to JR and myself and said, man, I wish y'all would start a show back up, because the information y'all put out
is great.
Is to try to help everybody
That's
out.
right.
If we tell everybody one of the things on our show, if you hunt and fish in Tennessee, our show is a show to watch. So
it is.
JR and I and Bubba, we just kind of got together down at Baker Glass Shop in Bolivar, Tennessee. And the reason we got them, because that was the only place that had good internet. We didn't have another place, and I knew that Corey would let us do it. So
that's
how it all started. And then after, I don't know, we'd been there, JR, 6, 8 months. And
6 or 8 months.
And Hardeman County Mayor Jimmy Sane came to us, and he said, hey, I love y'all's show, and he said, I got a place for y'all. So they had just built and redone the Hardeman County Agribusiness Center, and they give us a corner out there. TWRA come in and helped us out a bunch, and we have a stage. You've been sitting on it with us.
It's a wonderful setup, and it's on Tuesday nights.
Every Tuesday night, 7
at
o'clock.
7 o'clock.
It's an hour-long show.
And we're going to talk about that with Anthony, JR, and Hoot over here. Now, Frank's going to keep me straight. Let's take our first break of the morning. Oh, I love to say this. We'll be right back.